Hello everyone, this is Joe Workman, and today I'm excited to show you the Tabulous 2.5 update. This update's been long in the works, and I'm really happy that it's finally done for you. In this video, I'm not going to go over every single feature and new feature and fixes in this. Please check out the release notes. I'm going to go over four main new features and some things you need to be careful of with this update with your existing instances of Tabulous. So the first option, I've been getting a lot of requests for this. It's reverse slide order. And what this does is it allows you to add new tabs to the beginning of the stack. Now, when you add new stacks in edit mode, it will still add them to the bottom. However, when you preview the page, it will actually show the tabs at the beginning because you have this reverse slide order checked. So that's a great new feature. The next great new feature is some really great new slide transitions. So as you know, if you notice here, there's a bunch of CSS3 animations with a JavaScript fallback for older browsers that do not support CSS3 animations. Now what's great is you could define custom in animations, so animate in, as well as CSS3 animations for animating out. So you can have different animations in and out. Now, CSS3 animations are great, especially on mobile devices, because you will get a much smoother and more fluid transition and animation for CSS3 animations. And the reason for this is that browsers have optimized themselves for these CSS3 transitions. Whereas the JavaScript transitions have always been kind of a background hack and aren't directly supported natively by the browsers. So CSS animations are really where it is for fluid animations, especially on mobile devices where we need some less CPU and whatnot. Another really interesting transition is that you now have the ability to transition your tabs on hover. So when you hover over a tab, it will automatically transition or not. Okay, that's turned off by default. Now, the last two things I'm going to talk about are really where you have to watch out. Okay, so we now added font awesome support within tabs. Okay, now what does that mean? That essentially means that you can have a font awesome icon before each of your tab titles. Now, this is a really cool new feature. However, if you notice, once I enable it, inside these, I have, instead of a cool font awesome icon, I have the name of what this first tab used to be. Okay, and this is the name of the second tab. And if we go to my second tab, here's the name of what my third tab used to be, and here's the name of what my fourth tab used to be. And if we go down to my third tab, I now have edit panel title, finally a font awesome icon, and then edit panel title. So this is a conflict just with existing instances of Tabulous. So basically what that means is if you want to use Tabulous 2.5, you're going to have to make sure that you rename all of your tabs before you republish. Now, existing, or not existing, but new instances of Tabulous that you add to the page will not have any issues. So if I drag out a new instance here, and then I say I want font awesome tags, you easily have font awesome icons there, okay? And you can customize those. So it's only for existing implementations of your Tabulous stacks that you're going to have to go through and rename every single tab to what it was before. Sorry about that. But this is a trade-off for having some awesome new font awesome features. And I'll show you why the font awesome features are really awesome in a bit. Now, the next thing that we're going to have to be aware of is with Tabulous navigation. Before it was either you had arrows or you didn't have arrows. But now we have the ability to have text navigation. Now, why you need to be careful is, by default now, the navigation is set to none. So if you were using arrows before, you have to go to Style and just select arrows. At that point, all of your other arrow settings will be remembered, but you have to make sure that you set from none to arrows. And if you would like to switch to text, you can easily do that and switch to text navigation. So let's preview and see what some of the cool things are with Tabulous 2.5. As you notice here, I have a nice Tabulous stack here that uses some of the new CSS3 animations. And I have the Font Awesome tabs built in, okay? Now, if you also notice, I now have full width tabs, and that's another great addition to Tabulous 2.5, is that if you set the tab widths to variable, in this instance, I set them to 25% width, and they nicely filled up the entire width of the Tabulous container. This is really awesome. I'm glad that I finally figured this out for you guys. You also notice that as I hover over the tabs, the animation is a little bit nicer. It's not as harsh and abrupt. The actual style changes for each tab are nicely transitioned into each other. Now, another thing we'll notice as I resize the browser just a bit is that the text will flow, and we can actually have tab titles onto multiple lines now, and all of the tabs will react to the size and height of the proper tab height. If we make our browser a little bit smaller, we will notice that we now have 2 mobile tab settings now. We can use the Font Awesome tabs, which is basically the same tabs with just the Font Awesome icon, or we can still have the existing mobile navigation menu that we had in the previous Tabulous 2 edition. So these mobile tabs with Font Awesome icons is really an awesome way to display your Tabulous stacks on your website. Now, one last thing I'm really excited to show you is I've been getting a lot of requests for image tabs. And so we've done it. As you see here in this example, I have some images, and as I tap on the images, Tabulous transitions to the assigned tab. Now, what's actually going on here is that I'm using what's called cross-linking support within Tabulous. And cross-linking support allows me to add links to a particular tab to anything I want. So these image tabs are actually not a part of Tabulous. They're just some images that I added to my website. And I assign them to some responsive grid so that I can, have it nicely responsive and whatnot, and they still function properly. So that's really, really cool. But I like the cross-linking because it really allows you a lot of flexibility to design anything that you'd want and still navigate to the proper content within your Tabulous slider. This demo that you're seeing here is on the sample project within the Tabulous DMG. So make sure if you want to check this out, go ahead and download it and see exactly how it's done. We also have a full-blown FAQ and video tutorial on how to accomplish this on our documentation portal. So make sure you check that out. This is really going to wrap up the update for 2.5. I hope you really enjoy it. I'm very excited about it. And have a great day. Thanks. Bye.